And good morning. It's 7:03 on this Monday, February 10th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. It's a rainy Monday. We're glad to have you with us nevertheless. We've got a good show this morning. Hope that you'll stay with us throughout the hour. Don Hamlet joins us to talk about Absolute Kubota to get us kicked off this morning. Don, good morning.
Good morning.
A little rain out there.
A lot of rain out there.
I think before last night we'd had 3.5 inches or something at my house with all the rain last week and everything.
And they're talking
expecting more.
About that much more this week. So.
We do start every Monday morning off with a representative from Absolute Kubota. Absolute Kubota specializes in the sale of Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, and RTVs. They also carry Exmark mowers, one of the top-selling zero-turn mowers in the country. And they are located in the same building as Absolute Rental and Supply, which specializes in tool and equipment rental. And again, we've got Don Hamlet with us today. Don is in sales at Absolute Kubota, and right now they're open Monday through Friday from 7 to 5 and 7 to 4 on Saturdays. They're located at 1325 West Main in Lebanon behind Advance Auto Parts. Look for their big sign. You can see it from a long ways off. The big sign, you can see the orange tractors when you get up a little closer. Their phone number is 615-449-6171. The website, www.absolutekubota.com. You can also check them out on Facebook. Well, we expect some rain this time of year, but sometimes seems like we get more than we expect or more than usual. And for me, it beats snow.
For me personally, if it's going to be winter, it's going to be cold. I'd just soon it be cold and snowing as cold and rainy like it is this morning. That's just my opinion. And, speaking of the cold, when is winter going to change over to spring and everything, it looks like this year it may be just a little bit early. So we want to urge everyone to come on in. And when it's not going to be raining, 2 inches in one day, you wouldn't want to do it then. Rain's always helpful when you're putting out fertilizers and different things, but it is going to be time to go ahead and get started with your pre-emergence. Mm-hmm. Normally we might, suggest to wait just a little bit longer, but it looks like this year it's going to be time to come on in right now and get that done to, keep your crabgrass and, those type things from coming in.
This is a pretty big thing with you.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Kubota, isn't it? A lot of people depend on you to help them have their lawns looking a lot better and put that pre-emergent down to keep the weeds from developing.
It's a costly thing to do, and when people do it, they really care. Both brands of lawnmowers that we sell are top of the line. It's nothing that you would get at your local box stores. That's the name I'm going to use for them. These are great pieces of equipment. People put a lot of time, effort, and money into their lawn. And when they do, they really want it to look good. They take a lot of pride in the way their home and their property looks. So, it's really important to a lot of people. Some people just want to cut their grass and blow their driveway off and go back in and watch a baseball game, And that's okay, too. But for those that really care, we want to try to be on top of everything. Like I've said before, we have a new guy, Ben. So if you call into the shop and maybe you're looking for me or Jonathan or Lance in parts or something, we're probably going to steer you toward Ben. He has a degree in that. He's very intelligent, and he can help you. He'll even come out. We're doing soil tests this year. So, he'll help you do that and get that sent in and find out what your particular soils need to be optimum.
How long has Ben been with you?
Ben's been with us maybe about 6 months now, something like that.
So he's got his feet wet as far as what you do and some of your customers, some of them and all that.
Yeah, and it's from the area. In Wilson County, so it's not like he's come in here from New York and doesn't know anything about our region, because a lot of the stuff that you do in different areas has to do with what region or zone that you're in, what temperatures they expect you to have in the winter and the summer, and the amount of rain, of what plants and what will grow well in your area. So he's well versed on all that.
Well, that's good, and of course one of your owners has cut his teeth on. Matt Bryson started in the lawnmower business probably when he was in high school.
Oh yeah, he did. He's always there too. I don't think we would need him with Ben being there, but boy, if you ever do, we've got him to fall back on. It's handy for us that aren't as intelligent in some of that stuff as we might be in some of the equipment areas that we are, you know. And, you know, speaking of the equipment, we've got everything sitting there ready to go. Exmark and Kubota both, both of them have their good financing plans going, you know, the 0% financing and everything. You know, for the years they've got them stretched out. I think the other day we had 4 truckloads of Exmark lawnmowers come in. Ooh. So they've been working on getting those set up. You know, we have 4 stores. We're here in Lebanon, we're in Hendersonville, we're in Murfreesboro and Lewisburg. So we have 4 locations.
All the way down there in Marshall County.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So we bring all the equipment into our store, get it set up, and then as they need it, then we distribute it out to the other stores. So anywhere you might be, if you're out, if you're you know, landscape contractor and you happen to be up in Gallatin doing some work and you need a, you know, bend a blade, just remember we've got a store in Hendersonville. Same thing for the guys going to Rutherford County. If anybody over in Rutherford County, Sumner County are listening to us this morning, you know, those stores are also called Absolute Rental. So if you're out there and you need some seed, fertilizer, lawn care stuff, go in and see those guys.
All right. Well, that's great. It's probably going to be a rainy week, but another thing we might mention before you go this morning, if you need to have some maintenance done on your lawnmowers, this would be a good time.
Yes, all of those stores, they all have you know, great mechanics and people there ready to take care of your equipment.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us today. We'll talk with you again next Monday.
Awesome. You guys have a good show.
All right. That is Don Hamlet, and that's it for Absolute Kubota here on this Monday morning. Absolute Kubota, 1325 West Main in Lebanon, behind Advanced Auto Parts. About 10 minutes after the hour, and State Representative Clark Boyd joins us for his every other week visit to Coleman and Company. We're glad to welcome you again on a Monday morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How you been?
Doing well. I about got washed away on the way over here this morning. It's raining hard out there.
Well, it was barely raining when I got in my car. It poured down on the way. When I got here, it quit long enough for me to pick up the paper for MJ out at the end of the road and then get out of the car and get in here. So I'm okay. But I did bring my umbrella. You can see it over there. It's just not opened up yet. Well, we need to get in here about the legislature. We talked with Senator Pody about the State of the State address by the governor. I believe that was last Monday night.
It was a week ago today.
Yeah, and went over some of that with him Friday, but I think you included some of that in your weekly report, and that might be a good place to start. I don't know how much you know in advance what to expect when the governor comes to do the State of the State, but I don't guess you know everything, and some of it may be a little bit surprise sometimes.
Some of it was a surprise. They will start dropping little nuggets here and there, and they'll, of course, our leadership usually finds out about it, but some of it was to be expected. I think we knew most of it that was coming down the pike. I mean, we had been told that he was really going to make a big commitment to public education, and he did that to the tune of $600 million, which is about what we increased it last year. So that was a pretty hefty increase, and I know my public school teachers and administrators are very happy about that. He also last year the amount that we put in for pay raises was $71 million statewide. This time it was $117 million, and he spoke about the minimum salary for teachers. And I believe right now, of course, LEAs can pay higher if they want to, but I think the state minimum pay is $36,000, and he would like to raise that to $40,000 over the next 2 years. And so, I think everyone was pleased with that, and I'm hearing good things. I'm hearing a lot of gratitude from my education partners on that.
I guess the one thing that some of us might wonder about is, can we afford it? And I'm sure that's on your mind to some extent.
Well, with public education, that's such a high priority that usually it goes to the front of the to the top of the list, so to speak, when we do things like that. There are a few other things in here that I have some questions about. One of the things that I've heard from my education partners has been that they need some help with behavioral health and mental health in the school system. and actually sat down with Scott Benson and Becky Kegley and some folks from Lebanon Special, and they talked to us about that, some of the concerns that they had, and I met with the Department of Education and passed those along, but I think that somewhere higher up, perhaps in the administration, they had heard that too, because he this year is wanting to set aside $250 million, and this is sort of interesting to me. I'm not sure I've ever seen it before. Normally, if someone's asking for some additional funding, you give them additional funding, but he's actually taking a very substantial amount of money and he's starting an endowment, I guess would be the best way to put it. And I'm not sure how much immediate relief that's going to give the school systems, but that's something that he's done, and he intends to do some fundraising, I guess, to see if people that any corporations or just major donors want to get involved, and then that would, I guess, perpetually fund any sort of behavioral health or mental health in the school systems. And so that was something that's a lot of money. $250 million just to start an endowment. So what I think I would have rather seen, and I think that a lot of people are sort of echoing what I'm saying now, is that the BEP, which is a funding model for how the schools are funded, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, and it's so convoluted, it's hard to find anybody that really is an expert on this, but let's just say that for every 30 students, you get a teacher, and then for every 500 you get a principal, and for every and that's how the state funds their portion of it, and somewhere in there's a certain number where it triggers a guidance counselor or a PE teacher, and different things like that. That's not really been updated since it was created back in the 90s, and I think that a lot of folks would like to see a task force put together to really look at that and come back with a more a 21st century model of that, and maybe incorporate into that the behavioral health funding, so that every so many students you get some funding for that. I maybe would have rather seen that, but this is that we're okay with this, I guess. I mean, all of this right now is just these are things that the governor's doing, but really, we're the people's house and the House of Representatives and the Senate, we're the ones that really ultimately get to decide on this. So it's still, all of this has to come through the legislature to be voted on.
One thing quickly here, we'll go to a break. Do you anticipate, in the way you think that the education requirements and funding here probably would be on the front burner, and if something had to go, it'd be some of these other things we may talk about a little bit later?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Clark Boyd, State Representative, is with us this morning. A break here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:17. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the low price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. The police and TDOT trying to hurry and move this wreck off the interstate. It's 24 eastbound at Haywood Lane. That's all we're looking at right now. It's got traffic a little slow, but the heavy slow is going westbound. With this rain out here, give yourself extra time. There's been a crash on 40 eastbound. It's going to be between 24 and Briley Parkway up by the airport. Again, that's going eastbound. The heaviest flow is coming westbound. It's also still a wreck being cleared from earlier Gallatin Pike at Maya Drive. Princess Hot Chicken is the original hot chicken. Check it out. 5814 Nolensville Pike. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
John Boyce here from the Scoreboard Show. For the first time ever, we will be extending the Scoreboard Show to include all of Wilson County High School and college basketball. Trip Perry and I will give you all the basketball scores from the county, as well as interviews from the coaches every Friday night from 9 to 11 right here on WANT FM 98.9. The Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Designers Carpet, Absolute Kubota, Kay Maynard with State Farm Insurance, Sheriff Robert Bryan and Lebanon Police Chief Mike Justice, Dickey's Barbecue, and Southeast Motorsports.
Cumberland University Baseball is live this season on WANT and WCOR. Tune in for all of the home games and all of the Mid-South Conference matchups with Coach Woody Hunt's three-time champion Cumberland Phoenix baseball team. Mitch Walters brings you all of the action on WANT FM 98.9 and WCOR AM 1490. For a complete schedule, visit GoCumberlandAthletics.com. It's live Cumberland University Baseball on WANT and WCOR.
You see it in their smile, you read it in their reviews, and you hear it all over town. People love the way they're treated at Wilson County Motors. Honest, upfront pricing, top dollar on every trade, and one of the largest selections of new and pre-owned vehicles around. Wilson County Motors aims to exceed your expectations in every way possible. Get your Mitchell discount at Wilson County Motors in Lebanon, just 20 minutes east of the Nashville Airport. WilsonCountyMotors.com.
Coleman and Company, welcome to our program here on a Monday morning. State Representative Clark Ford comes on alternate weeks, alternate Mondays during the legislative session. He's with us today. State Representative Susan Lynn will be here in this slot next week, and between the two of them, we get a pretty good idea of what's happening in the House of Representatives from Nashville. Now, some other things with the budget you might mention quickly here that the governor proposed in his state address. You seem to be more interested in an increase in pay for the teachers and in some of this behavioral health and so on, maybe than some of the other things, but some other things he's wanting to do affect a lot of people as well.
Yeah, one of the things that probably I think the general public's going to be very happy about, one of the almost everyone will come in contact with the state at some point, and if you don't encounter the state anywhere else, at some point you have to get a driver's license, and those driver's license centers are just overwhelmed right now with people that are getting the what is that called,
I know, and I can't think
real
of
ID, and by October 1st of this year you're supposed to have that, and it has just clogged up the driver's license centers, and I think Murfreesboro is so crowded that all those folks are coming over here now. People are telling me that they're seeing a lot of Rutherford County folks here in Lebanon going through it because ours was moving a little bit quicker, and so the governor has allocated 80 positions statewide to increase that to try to help get that.
That's almost one per county if you average it out.
Yeah, and so. And that's something that's good. I mean, we want to make sure that Tennesseans are getting the biggest bang for their buck. And like I said, you may never come in contact with the state with anything. You may not own a business where you have to pay a tax or deal with unemployment insurance folks or anything, but you have to have a driver's license in the state. And so I think that's probably pretty wise, and I don't think that's too substantial there. He is still the governor's really excited about this 3 months of paid time off for state employees, and I'm still hearing everybody I talk to. I mean, now I have been contacted after I was on the radio that one day. Somebody must have heard, and I had a handful of state employees that reached out to me that said, we really like it, and I know they do, and I think that something is in order. I mean, we're not saying that you shouldn't, because by federal law, there's time that you can be off up to 12 weeks. It's just a matter of, do you use your accumulated vacation time, your sick time? Do you buy a short-term disability policy, or does the state just say we're just going to pay you, for the entire time? And so I'm still hearing, with the exception of the few state employees that have reached out to me, the general public is not very receptive to this idea out here in the district, and I know that a lot of legislators share that same concern that I do. That's a big chunk of there's a big cost associated with that, and it's so out of sync with what most companies and most governments offer. I'm just not sure where that's going to go.
Well, I understand one of his reasons for proposing this was the retention of state employees, and does that factor into it much in your mind?
Oh, I've no doubt that it's a great retention tool, and we want to recruit the brightest, most talented folks. I just don't know. I guess my problem here is I wish it had not been an executive order. I wish he'd have said, here's what I'd love for y'all to consider. Here's a piece of legislation, because the governor they'll give us legislation, give it to the majority leader, and they'll carry it. And then we could have ran it through the committee. We could have looked at the fiscal impact, and we could have tinkered with it a little bit and maybe come up with something. But now, if it goes through the committee process, and I'm just making this up, it's not going to come through my committee. Mine deals more with the private sector. But let's say it goes through state government committee, and it goes through the employee state government committee, and they say, you know what, let's say that you have to use all the time that you've accumulated. Then after that, we'll give you an additional 4 weeks, or they come up with some number. And then maybe that they create a trigger point and they say, and just so you can't start with a state and use it the next month, let's say that you have to have worked there for a year. So, and Coleman, I'm just making this up as we're sitting here. If that's what the finished product looks like, then you're going to have two different classes of state employees, because you're going to have the bill that the legislature passed, and then you're going to have people that are covered under his executive order. And so you're going to have two different classes of state employees getting two different maternity or paid time off benefit. And so it's going to be complicated. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
But the feedback I'm hearing from my colleagues and from folks out here in the district is they don't like it.
Anything else from his address, his proposals that you want to mention this morning?
No, I mean, I could go through the whole thing, but last week was the bill filing deadline for us. Mm-hmm. So Wednesday, I mean, if you needed an attorney for something, and they came in your office, I mean, they looked like they were had a coffee IV going into their arm or something to keep them awake. I mean, it was a busy week for those folks. But they finished up on Wednesday, and they're still signing all of the bills, so I don't know exactly what all is going to flow through my committee. We should know if probably today. They said give us a few days after all the bills are filed to make sure, let the clerk's office figure out where they need to go. But we've seen a few things. One bill that's floating out there is there's a legislator that's got a bill that would say that deadly force can be used if someone feels like they're going to be sexually assaulted or raped. Mm-hmm. And there are some people that think that would. Some people think, well, that's kind of unnecessary because it's already covered if you feel like you're in danger of bodily harm or something like that. But I think this is probably a good bill. I mean, I think that anybody that's ever been the victim of sexual assault or rape or anything would have done anything to have prevented that. And so I don't see a problem with that. I think it's probably a good piece of legislation. I think it'll probably pass bipartisan. The legislator that's from Henderson County is working on a bill kind of in honor of Holly Bobo, who went missing a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And this one would sort of codify what is current practice by the TBI to continue with the Amber Alert system in Tennessee. And I don't know if anybody that has a smartphone probably has seen that Amber Alert, right. And it's been very helpful in helping law enforcement apprehend someone, especially in a kidnap situation, something like that. So I think that's pretty good. We've also there's a bill out there by our assistant majority leader to reduce the corporate tax rate from 6.5% down to 6%. And one of the things that the governor mentioned, speaking of taxes, was cutting the professional privilege tax that is still out there for some people from $400 down to $200. Now, we cut out a lot of different professions last year on the professional privilege tax. There's still a few like lawyers, doctors, and stockbrokers, and we're eventually going to do away with that. It's just it brings in a lot of money, and they're trying to sort of eat it one bite at a time, I think. And I would say this, if we don't wipe it out completely, because I know he wanted to take it from $400 to $200, there were some of my colleagues were thinking just doing away with it altogether. So I think in some capacity you're going to either see a reduction or an elimination of that tax this year.
One thing I guess I wonder a little bit about, we have been in pretty good times here since the Great Recession of, I guess, 2008. We've had 10, 12 years of pretty good times. We've had good tax revenues coming in, but we have cut back some on the sales tax on food. We have done away with some of these other taxes that provide the state income. Can we continue to make cutbacks and still be okay if we hit a downturn in the economy?
Coleman, that's a great question. And so I will say this when it comes to taxation. The best type of tax is a tax that taxes just everyone just a little bit, but it aggregates to a really large number. And that's sales tax. And Tennessee is a success model, for how that can work. And other states look at us and they say Tennessee's doing things right. And so as our tax base grows with regard to sales tax, and now that we've settled the debate about whether a retailer in another state that is selling products online to Tennesseans and shipping it here, once the Supreme Court kind of supported what was already state law and we can now collect that, I think that the sales tax is the way to go. And I think that, like I said, as that base grows, there were a few other taxes that we had that targeted certain professions, or like the corporate tax rate, that I think we could shift that down a little bit or eliminate. And I don't know that the corporate tax rate will ever go away. It's not very substantial, in my opinion. The professional privilege tax was kind of unique, that it just targeted certain professions, and I'd like to see it go away. Now, the reduction on the corporate tax from 6.5% to 6%, I can't tell you exactly how this works, but I know that the way he explained it to me, he's put some triggers in there so that if there was an economic downturn and it was substantial, that it would shift back up. So that's kind of fascinating to me. I'd like to see how he's doing that, but that's the way he explained it to me. Because Coleman, I absolutely agree with you. One of the things we've got to be careful of is watching our revenue in this state, because we have had such a bumper crop with regard to sales tax revenue the last few years that we're living in good times, and I think people have forgotten what lean times are like. And we have grown government and cut taxes at the same time, and it's worked out for us just because the economy's going so well. But at some point, that's going to slow down, and we're going to have to make some tough decisions. And so that's why back to the governor, state of the state. I wish he was putting more money into the rainy day fund. I don't think $50 million is enough, and I think that the chairman of finance, Susan Lynn, and also the chairman in the Senate as well, I think they concur, and I wouldn't be surprised if his budget got tinkered with a little bit and they made a larger deposit in there.
Clark, our time has come and gone. We thank you for your visit. See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Coleman.
State Representative Clark Boyd. That's part one of Coleman and Company. Please keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:31. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota and Rental, fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Land Pride, Red Max, and Billy Goat, 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. I'm still looking live at this crash here on 40 eastbound, right at the 24 split. Give yourself plenty of extra travel time out here just to be on the safe side. Sure, we've got a number of accidents out here. Lebanon Pike and Andrew Jackson Parkway getting some attention in Hermitage. Heavy coming from Wilson County right now, but it's moving 40 west here, passing 840, and it's busy 24 up through the Hickory Hollow area. Buying or selling a home, call Nikisha and Tony Tate today at Exit Master Realty. The Tate team, they are the best. Call today, 554-9795. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Do you know why Rocky Williams Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Mount Juliet sells so many cars, trucks, SUVs, and muscle cars? Well, it all starts with a simple idea. Why not give everyone a hassle-free shopping experience for their new or used vehicle with no haggling, no negotiating, and no runaround? Every vehicle on the Rocky Williams lot is marked down incredibly low with the price posted on the window. You're treated with fairness and respect every time. No pressure, just a friendly, warm, inviting staff dedicated to finding the exact vehicle you need. So Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has become the original no-haggle, one-price dealer. Go online to RockyWilliams.com to see the incredible deals yourself. Every car and truck is listed with a no-haggle low price. This is for real, and you're gonna love it. People drive for miles to get some of the lowest prices in America on their new or used cars or trucks. Go to RockyWilliams.com or come on over to our brand new spacious dealership next to Walmart in Mount Juliet.
You make plans for just about everything for the weekend, for a shopping trip, for your daughter's wedding, but do you have a financial strategy for the rest of your life? Now may be the perfect time to do it. Waypoint, your future, your way. For more information, call the Lebanon office of Waypoint Financial Partners at 615-444-6548. Securities and investment advisory services offered through AXA Advisors, LLC. 212-314-4600. Member FINRA SIPC.
In your mid-state forecast, after that nice sunny day yesterday, we do bring back the chance of rain today. Temperatures this afternoon will top out in the low 50s. A few scattered showers are in the forecast tonight as well. Lows tonight will fall into the low 40s. For Tuesday's forecast, we do have a slight chance of rain. Highs on Tuesday will top out in the low 50s. More widespread rain moves back in for Wednesday. Let's look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2. It is a Monday morning and time for us to talk about Rocky Williams' premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet. Billy Mullinax is here as always, and a good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. It's a beautiful Monday morning.
Well, if you like rain, it's beautiful, I guess. But it beats snow. And
Coleman,
in my opinion, it beats snow.
It's a beautiful morning. It's just not a beautiful morning to be outside.
All right. Oh, you got a good thing going at Rocky Williams, which we talk about each Monday. That's no haggle pricing, where everybody pays the same great low price.
I like the way you did that, Coleman.
Well, we got a way of doing things every Monday morning.
That's exactly right. And it is a different way of doing business, Coleman. We had a lady that had bought many cars that was in on Saturday, and before she left, the salesperson said she would like to see you. And so I went over, and she said, I just want to let you know this is the best buying experience that I have ever had, and I've bought a lot of vehicles. And that says a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, it is the one price way of doing business, Coleman. It's the no pressure. It's, it's not an intimidating situation that you're put in trying to figure out if you want a vehicle or not. And where everybody pays the same great low price, you don't have to worry if somebody knew somebody, or if you could think of somebody that worked there, maybe I could get it a little less, because even I pay the same price everybody else pays.
Name dropping doesn't help.
It does not help, Coleman.
What everybody needs to do is to go to that website, rockywilliams.com, and see what's available, and then make up their mind if they can afford it.
You might see your neighbor there, Coleman.
rockywilliams.com. Yes, sir. That's the place a lot of people start.
Most people do start at our website. I don't know what percentage, Coleman, but I would say somewhere between 75 and 80 probably, because most people shop that way anymore. Because you can go right there. You can compare prices, and the beautiful thing about us, Coleman, you don't have to do anything to get our best price when you look at our website. It's posted there for you. There's no button that says click here for your e-price or click here for today's price, because today's price will be tomorrow's price.
There you go.
And it's just a transparent, honest way to do business.
Well, it's been working for you for how many years now?
I've been there 8 years, Coleman.
And Rocky's been
doing the no haggle pricing now for over 9 years. And it's just a fair, honest, almost stress-free way to sell and buy a car.
And I believe you've completed, is it 3 years, 2 years?
3 years.
3 years in Mount
Juliet.
Right. Started out in Lebanon and
yep.
down to Mount Juliet. But on the north side of the interstate, which is the best side.
Well,
traffic-wise,
it is definitely easier to navigate to. We're right there kind of beside Walmart and Academy Sports. And so once you get off the interstate, it is very, very easy to get over to us.
Well, it really has worked fine for you. You have a wonderful facility there. It took me a while, but I finally came and toured it after you'd been there about 1.5 years. And
yeah.
You still got that aquarium that you love, which is a conversation piece, if you will, and little children love to come and see the different fish. Some of them are it's salt water.
It's salt water, yes.
Yeah. So,
well, we had a person that's in the automotive industry. He's a vendor, if you will, not for us, but for a lot of automotive people. He's been in the business since 1983. And he said he was in for the first time. He doesn't live around here. He said, I have never seen an aquarium like this in a dealership.
Well, it's something that I know
Yeah.
you take great pride in, because you're kind of the one that's in charge of seeing that it's manicured and kept and up to date and whatever you do with an aquarium.
Just whatever you do. With them,
You've got a good education on that, I'm sure, by now.
Yes, I have.
All right. Well, come see that. Come see the great deals. Of course, most of the time, though, you already know what's available. You know what the no-haggle price is. It's just a matter, is this what you want and can you afford it?
That's exactly right, Coleman. Yeah. Does it meet your needs and does it meet your budget?
All right. Well, thanks for being with us today. Have a great week. Stay dry. We'll see you next Monday.
Next Monday.
All right. That's Billy Mullinax. He's the general manager for Rocky Williams Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram of Mount Juliet, 600 Pleasant Grove Road. No haggle pricing. Everybody pays the same great low price. Right now, we are 21 and a half before the hour. And I have 5 ladies round the table with me this morning for part 2. And these ladies are known as Debbie and the Doo-Wops. And they're going to be in concert Sunday, March 1st at the Capitol Theater. We're going to talk about that this morning. We're going to talk with each one of them. And I don't know which one to start with this morning. Now I know. Everybody's pointing to Kay Talley. Kay, good morning to you and welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
And we welcome all of you. And it's just nice to be able to have you here because we've heard a lot. I've heard you sing a few times. Once in particular, I remember at the fair. I'm not sure about other times, but the fact that you're going to be in concert and everybody's invited is one of the things we wanted to talk about this morning. But it's going to give us an opportunity to talk with each one of you. 5 of the 7, I believe. You have a couple of gentlemen maybe that are part of it.
We have 3. We
okay.
have 3
so
instrumentalists.
5 of 8 are here
right.
this morning. How did this all get started?
Well, we were asked to do a concert, or actually a performance for our class reunion. Anita Van Hook was our accompanist early on, and we graduated together from Lebanon, and we were asked to get our old group together for our reunion. We couldn't do that, and so we pulled in these other people. Lynn had played in a group with Anita after high school, and Prissy had joined them, and Debbie and I sang together at church, and so that was done for one night. And as they say, the rest is history. It's been over 10 years now.
All right, you mentioned Debbie, and it is Debbie and the Doo-Wops. Debbie Lancaster, good morning to you, and welcome to our program. I hope things are going well for you.
Absolutely.
And didn't get too much rain coming in here this morning.
Well, I thought we might have to switch to a boat before we got here, but thank goodness.
Why is it Debbie and the Doo-Wops? You have the lead part, I guess?
Most of the time I sing lead, and someone early on introduced us as Debbie and her Doo-Wops, and the name just kind of stuck. Uh-huh. So, yeah, it's not that I'm any more responsible than any of the rest of them.
Oh, she really is. She really is.
I just found out early on I had to memorize more words than the rest of them do.
We've got Prissy Deffendahl. That's a nickname, right?
It certainly is. I'm Priscilla.
Priscilla, but
to
Prissy
not too many
sure.
people, right? Yes.
Well, were you around in the beginning?
I was. In a funny way, Nita was my sister,
right?
And so we sang forever. We were a singing family. All the Van Hooks sang, and so we would sit around the piano all the time and sing. And so I could do harmony, and she needed an alto, and here I was. So, and I had sung with Lynn many times backup. So that's when I came in. And then the rest started. I was just thinking, I think it was your church that named us because we thought this was just a one-time deal. And we thought we were going to have Ed Lassiter singing with us. And he had a throat condition and could not. So we got lovely Debbie. And it just grew and mushroomed, and we've had a big time.
Debonair.
Yes, there you go.
Lovely.
Lovely Lynn. Yes.
I'd rather be lovely, Debbie.
Lynn Winfrey, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Lynn and I graduated from high school together. Yes, we did. Did we have our history class with Mr. Baker?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. Yeah, I still remember a story he told, but we better not tell it here.
I think you looked on my papers several times.
Oh, no.
No, Brother Mr. Baker was the best teacher. When we have tests,
he would go out of the room, he'd give us the questions, go out of the room and tell us to open our books to take the test. Remember that? It was so
I remember
sweet.
him. But you like to sing, and you have sung with Fred Van Hook for years, but
Yes.
you are part of Debbie and the Doo-Wops as well.
Right.
What is it about singing that's captured you?
My mom was a singer and musically inclined, and she always wanted me to do that. So I tried to take piano. She wanted me to take piano so bad, and I took, and I didn't like it. I wanted to be out playing, and so she'd sit at the piano bench with a switch and make me practice. She said, "Young lady, someday you're going to wish you could play." And I went, "No, I'm not." So then I switched to singing, and she liked that. So
Okay. So everybody's happy.
everybody was happy.
Do you play the piano?
No. I know I can read notes, but I cannot.
Yeah. All right. I think the fifth person here is Susan Stevens. Susan, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And now you have joined a little later, right?
I'm one of the newer members of the group, yes.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself and how this came to be.
I've always been into music since I was 3 years old. Somebody gave me one of those little Schroeder pianos for my birthday, and it's color-coded notes with a color-coded book. And I quickly learned how to play Row, Row, Row Your Boat and all the songs in it. And about 3 days later, I brought that piano into my mom, and I said, "Listen to this." And I played a song, and she's flipping through the book, and it's not in there. And she said, "How did you do that?" And I said, "I don't know. I just found the notes." So I've always loved music. I was a songwriter for a while in my former life before I was a teacher and everything else. And my mother-in-law lives next door to Prissy. And after Nita died, the group kind of broke up for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they were thinking about getting back together. And they had tried several different people on the piano. And something just hadn't gelled yet. I don't know. And she said something to my mother-in-law. And she said, "You need to call Susie." And Prissy said, "Oh, she wouldn't want to do that." But guess what, Prissy? She did. And she loves it.
Well, you've got some big shoes to fill. And Nita
Yes.
was so full of life. And she was in your class, Kay,
Yes.
right? A year behind
Yes.
Lynn and me. Yeah. But she was a hoot. And no doubt you still miss her. But I'm sure you've got a good replacement here.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Well, it is time for us to take a break. Now, y'all promised us you'd do a little song for us, maybe 2 short ones or something. We're gonna do that. But before I go to the break here, we haven't even talked about this much. Debbie and the Doo-Wops going to be in concert at the Capitol Theater Sunday, March 1st, 3 p.m. General admission $20, seniors 17, and ages 4 to 12, $12, children 3 and under free. Sunday, March 1st. At 3 p.m. We're going to talk more about that and talk more about Debbie and the Doo-Wops, and after we take this break. Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's go ahead and see what's happening on the roadways. We want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota and Rental. They are located at 1325 West Main. Fully staffed service center and parts department. Most of their minor services can be done the same day. Servicing Exmark, Kubota, Land Pride, Red Max, and Billy Goat. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. In Rutherford County, we're looking at this wreck, and so is everybody else as they drive by on 24 westbound at Elmaville Road. It's not blocking traffic, but it's there nonetheless. A wreck in Jolton with injuries, 3100 block of Greer Road, Lebanon Pike at Andrew Jackson Parkway. That crash still getting some attention. It's just heavy out here on 40 East coming in from Dixon County up through Kingston Springs. Hey, the Music City Irish Fest in Nashville kicks off March 14th through the 17th. Check out the details now at MusicCityIrishFest.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
She's taken care of you your whole life. Now it's your turn to take care of her. But with a family of your own and other responsibilities, there just aren't enough hours in the day. That's why it might be time to call the Pavilion Senior Living. From bathing, dressing, housekeeping, and meals, the Pavilion Senior Living is committed to being senior living you can trust for your loved one. Find out more at pavilionseniorliving.com or call 444-5556. That's 444-5556.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
When it comes to tough, versatile workhorses, nothing compares to Kubota's full line of RTV Series utility vehicles. Kubota's RTV X Series doesn't just lead the way on rugged dependability. It leads the pack. Right now, you can get 0 down and 0% APR financing for up to 48 months. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information. Stop by Absolute Kubota at 1325 West Main Street in Lebanon or call them at 615-449-6171.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. We are privileged this morning to have Debbie to do with us. And if you're just going to maybe from our break here, they're going to be in concert Sunday, March 1st at the Capitol Theater. And our tickets going to be, can you buy them in advance? Can you get
You
them?
can. You go on the website for the Capitol Theater, and you can buy them in advance. They'll also be for sale at the door, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can call.
Door opens at 2. Doors open at 2.
Okay. Doors open at 2 on Sunday, March 1st, and the concert begins at 3. How long will you be singing, and will there be a break? Have you got that far yet?
Probably close to 2 hours. There will be an intermission.
Okay. All right. 2 hours total with an intermission of 10 or 15 minutes, maybe, something like that. So you got over an hour and a half of singing. How many songs can you get in an hour and a half?
We're going to get in a lot of songs, and we've got a couple of special guests that are going to be there as well. So, yeah.
All right. There's 3 people we really haven't mentioned this morning. Now, let me say again, we've got here with us Prissy Deffendahl, Debbie Lancaster. She's the Debbie of Debbie and the Doo-Wops. We've got Susan Stevens, Kay Talley, and Lynn Winfrey. You 5 do the singing, but you, 4 of you do. And actually, Susan, you are the pianist.
That's right.
For the most part, anyway. Now, but there's 3 guys, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the 3 guys.
Martin Bell, he is on lead guitar, and Sean Frick is the bass guitar, and Eric Maynard, my son, is on drums.
Okay, so you got 2 guitarists and a drummer and a pianist.
Right.
You used to just have Anita playing.
It took There really were big shoes to fill. The difference was everything we sounded the same.
You're going to do something for us here in a minute, but how would you? I think the name itself kind of gives us a clue, Debbie and the Doo-Wops. But how somebody describe your music, and it's not all exactly the same. You have some variation, I think.
Well, it's 50s music to begin with. Of course, Anita and Lynn and I actually grew up with this music. That was our music, and that's the reason we were asked to do this. So that was how we began. Now we go into some of the 60s, and even we have done some early 70s, and then some old ones from the late 40s, a few.
Right. And we do a lot of gospel music, too. Yeah. I think it fits under the name Debbie and the Doo-Wops because when we first started, everything sounded kind of doo-woppy anyway. No matter what type of music we were singing, we tended to make it sound doo-woppy. So, and it's a fun style of music. You know, it seems that period of music or that type of music is something that most people enjoy. It's hard to sit through that type of music and not have fun.
Yeah, you can't be in a bad mood.
No.
And we've noticed that even the teenagers, like they'll stand in the kitchen and, like at 5 Oaks and watch us, listen to us sing and interested in what we're doing. So everybody likes that type of music.
Yeah. Well, you've made quite a hit for yourselves, and I think you do concerts from time to time. You have requests to come and play at different places and even do some churches, I think, too, right?
Yes.
You are available.
We are.
Get the word out here. But we want to hear a little bit of it this morning. If y'all are ready, now we have your pianist, but no piano. We don't have your guitarist.
Do some air piano.
But I'm just going to say, take off. Are you going to do what? You're going to do 2 short pieces, maybe?
We are. We're going to do a little bit of a doo-wop song, and then we're going to do a little bit of a gospel song too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready.
And like he said, normally this is with the piano, so it's going to be a cappella this morning. Does he love me? I want to know. How can I tell if he loves me so?
Is it in his eyes?
Oh no, you'll be deceived.
Is it in his eyes?
Oh no, you'll make believe if you want to know. If he loves you so, it's in his kiss.
That's where it is.
Oh yeah,
just his charm.
Or his warm embrace.
Oh no, that's just his arm. If you
Shoot,
wanna
shoot,
know
shoot,
if
shoot,
he loves
shoot,
you,
shoot,
so
shoot,
it's
shoot.
in his kiss.
That's where it is.
Oh, kiss him and squeeze him tight. Find out what you wanna know. If it's love, if it really is, it's there in his kiss.
How about the way he acts?
Oh no, that's not the way. You're not listening to all I say. If you wanna
shoot,
know
shoot,
if he
shoot,
loves you,
shoot,
so
shoot,
it's
shoot.
in his kiss.
That's where it is.
All right, great. We're ready for another one now.
All right, this one we're going to do is called Walk Together Children. And
We love the Isaacs.
yes,
This
we
is
do.
an Isaacs.
It's a arrangement by the Isaacs. It's an old hymn, but it's an arrangement by the Isaacs. Oh, walk together, children.
Walk together and don't you get weary.
Walk together, children.
Walk together and don't you get weary.
Walk together, children.
Walk together and don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land.
Oh, walk together, children.
Walk together and don't you get weary.
Walk together, children.
Walk together and don't you get weary.
Walk together, children.
Walk together and don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Keep on walking when you're happy. Keep on walking when you're blue. Keep on walking through the midnight. Keep on walking down that long, long road.
Oh, walk together,
Walk together
children.
and don't you get weary.
Walk together, children.
Walk together and don't you get weary.
Walk together, children.
Walk together and don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land.
All right, I'll
Thank
do a
you.
little applause here. I thought that sounded great. I hope it sounded as good on the radio as it did here in the studio. We got about 4 minutes left. Debbie and the Doo-Wops are with us this morning, and again, they have a performance Sunday, March 1st at the Capitol Theater. General admission $20, seniors 17, ages 4 to 12. $12, and children 3 and under will be free. Now, tickets are available at CapitolTheaterTN.com. CapitolTheaterTN.com. So you can get them now. You can wait and get them at the door. I was just thinking, I thought your harmony sounded great. Do you sing the same thing? Each one of you sing. Is there some variance, or is the alto always sing alto? Debbie, you're always the lead, I guess.
Well, not always. So,
No?
we take turns. There are times in the concert that we'll spotlight different people, and they'll sing the lead, and I get to do some harmony. I think all of us really enjoy doing the harmonies. But Prissy usually arranges the harmonies for us, and sometimes, they swap around. Most of the time they fall about the same. But, and then Susie is so talented, not only as a pianist and as a singer, as you just heard, but she's a writer. She was singing on the second song. She's a writer, and we're going to highlight one of her songs that she wrote, an original song. Yeah. So we're excited about that.
And Martin Bell sings as well, and he does some things.
Mm-hmm. Did you used to be all females, and Anita played the piano, but now having the guitars and the drum, that changed it a little bit?
Oh, yes.
It
expanded
has.
our repertoire.
We sound like a real band,
Yes,
And I used to joke that we sang at different churches a lot, and as we went to different churches, we would pick up a musician here and there. So
Still a man at the church.
we came away from each church, for a while with a different musician. So we were pretty excited about
You
that.
have any particular goals? I mean, some of you may be retired. I've got an idea you are, but you still are active, and that's good.
Our goal,
It's very good. It's good to, like, be here this morning.
I'd like to
anywhere.
say that we are blessed at our age, especially, for people to want to hear us sing. And we have requests, for different songs. And it's a blessing to us. I think God's been good to us all.
Y'all, we're about to get out of time. Y'all have a favorite that you have a song or two you do every time you play?
Yes.
Rock around the clock.
We
If
start
we
with
don't
that
sing
one.
that, we don't.
We don't start it.
Yeah, that's one of our favorites
Yeah.
to start with. Yeah.
Rock Around the Clock. Well, you have a favorite religious song particularly? That one you did a minute ago.
That's one of them.
That's one of our favorites.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
We loved My God Is Real.
Yeah.
We would sing that a lot as well.
Yeah.
Well, I just appreciate you being here. I really, when you have 5 people like this and know you're going to sing, and I think this has come over real well, and I want to listen to it at 10 o'clock myself. By the way, it'll be replayed at from 10 to 11 on WCOR AM 1490 as it is each time. And we just got time to remind everybody again, Sunday, March 1st, Debbie and the Doo-Wops at the Capitol Theater. That's Sunday, March 1st, 3 p.m. with the doors opening at 2, general admission 20, seniors 17, $12 for ages 4 to 12, children 3 and under are free, and tickets available at capitoltheatertn.com. With me today, Prissy Deffendahl, Debbie Lancaster, Susan Stevens, Kay Talley, and Lynn Winfrey. And ladies, thank you so much. I appreciate having you, and I hope our audience has appreciated you as much as I have, and I wish you well, and keep on singing.
Would you come to our concert?
Oh, absolutely.
We'll
if
see
at
you
all
there.
possible, I want to be there. All right. Well, that's it for a Monday. Hope you'll join us for the Tuesday edition tomorrow. Till then, I wish you a magnificent day.